Hi, Les Zevo. I'm Zach Williams from ADP.
Hi.
It's nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I brought my business card in today if you want to exchange.
Yeah, I got one for you too.
All right. So I just wanted to confirm that we're here for 20 minutes today, like we said on the phone.
Yeah, that works.
Before we get started, I found out that you're an Alabama fan, and I just wanted to congratulate you on making the playoffs.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. I didn't expect to, but the committee made the right decision.
I think so too. They're definitely one of the best 4 teams.
I think so. Hopefully they'll prove it on the field.
Yeah. So how did you become an Alabama fan?
My my stepmother took me to my first game in '91. It was the SEC championship game, and it just kind of went from there.
Sweet. Well, is there anybody else going to be meeting with us today, or is it just going to be me and you?
No, I think this will be it today.
All right. Well, the goal for today is just for me to tell you about ADP and the different kinds of products that we offer.
All right, that sounds great.
All right. But before we get started, do you mind telling me a little bit about your company and how it got started?
Well, I made my own homemade salsa, and friends were always asking me to make it for them, and parties, it was always a big hit. So I decided to start jarring it and selling it, and it's done pretty well so far.
I think that's pretty cool that you just kind of started at a party one night and it's turned into this big business that it is now. I really kind of admire that work ethic and love how you just started from there and now you're here.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind telling me a little bit more about your current payroll process and if you've been having any issues or anything like that.
Well, it's actually more of a manual system, and Effie basically has to do everything on her own on a week-to-week basis, and we've had some pretty big problems, with our time clock messing up, and it's starting to become a nuisance. And the only thing holding me back from switching is I've just heard ADP is really expensive.
Yeah, well, I actually added up those numbers for you before we came into this meeting today, and I came up with it'd be about $100 for you to get the ADP app started and get all of our supplies over to you and get it all set up. And our prices, they actually do compete with all of our competitors. They're right there at that line with all of our other competitors. And if you just ask any of our clients, they'll tell you that our product is a much higher quality and it just benefits them more than anybody else.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's not as bad as I was expecting.
Yep. Going back to any of the other payroll problems, have you had any other issues?
Well, the office manager spends about 5 hours a day processing payroll, and it causes other things to get backed up every week. We had an employee that was supposed to have a child support withheld from their check, and it was our first situation like that. So it took us a while to figure out how to make our system work, and they live outside our county, so it was a little struggle to figure out the system. We were delayed with some of the withholdings, and then we got audited and fined for not having the proper withholdings. And it's just been a real learning curve.
Well, if you don't mind telling me, how much were you fined for not having those withholdings?
We were fined about $3,000, and it definitely wasn't good for us.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. Well, what if I told you that ADP offers a more advanced payroll system? It really stores everything electronically, and you can access it through any kind of tech device like your laptop or a phone or an iPad or anything like that. It just makes it a lot easier for our customers. And we also offer a 24/7 around-the-clock tech support just in case there's any questions or concerns that you may have about our product.
That sounds perfect and like something I would be interested in learning more about.
All right. Well, based on everything we've talked about, I'll go ahead and show you the app that we offer. It's right here. Basically, you just get it through your app store, and it just goes right on your home screen. And you have a login and you have a password. We'll get you set up with one of those, and then you get in here and you can see your employee list. You can see any taxes that you have. You can see any hours that your employees have had that week or any overtime that they've had. It's just a really good overall app, so you can deal with anything payroll related. You can just take a look at it if you want. And I was actually talking to a client earlier. I was talking to him about the app, and he was telling me how much he loves it because he has all of that information at the tip of his fingers. He can deal with anything payroll related, and it doesn't have to be at work. It can be anywhere on the go. It's just a lot easier and more convenient for him.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Seems pretty amazing, and just really convenient. The only real question I have, the security. How safe is it to use a mobile device over a wireless connection?
Well, it's a really good question. It's actually pretty safe. We have a software that runs in the app, and it really helps with any kind of hacking problems that you might have over a wireless network. It really puts a stop to any kind of problems related to that. We actually haven't had any problems from our clients being hacked and having any information stolen, so I probably wouldn't be too worried about anything like that happening to you.
Okay, that sounds, that's good to hear. I was just not sure because you always hear about people's information getting taken on different apps.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I feel for you. I feel your concerns about that. But like I said, you should be comfortable with our security for our app because we've never had any problems like that. But so going back to those problems you stated earlier, if I said the app had everything tax related listed out on it, like I showed you, and it'll eliminate all of those money problems that you had with the tax withholdings, would you be interested in that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. And so do you see how our app will allow you to save on potential money issues in the future?
Absolutely. If by means, I can make more money for my company, I'll definitely do it.
All right, well, that's good. The app, it also saves you a lot of time. It'll help out with your office manager spending those 5 hours a day on payroll like she does. It'll cut it in half at least, if not more, and it'll just allow her to get all those extra tasks caught up around the office.
That's something we definitely want to see happen here.
All right, so you can see how much time and stress that'll save your office manager dealing with the payroll issues.
I do, and it's something that is of my top priority to correct within the company. I'm just not sure that right now is the time for us to switch. Your price, although small, on a per payroll really adds up.
Well, I understand, but I actually have proof that allotting the amount of money that you're going to be putting towards us will actually save you money in the future. We've worked with a lot of small businesses in the past, and it's only increased their revenue and saved them time. So in time, that'll end up gaining you more money because of our app and our payroll system. It really just does a good job, and I've actually worked with a company based out of Murfreesboro called Jones Car Wash, and within the first year, we were able to increase their revenue by 12%. Because the app helped them save time with their office manager dealing with payroll issues. It allowed them to hire new staff and get things done around the car wash, and it just basically helped them gain more money and made them a better business.
Oh, that sounds really good, but how exactly are you going to save the money for me and save the time?
Well, like I said, with our app, it'll just reduce that time from 5 hours spent to about an hour and a half. So with all that time you're able to save, it'll really help the office manager get tasks done. You could even hire more staff, and it'll just give you a lot more opportunity for growth in the future.
Oh, wow. Well, all that sounds really great, and I'm really excited about all the things you've offered us, and I think I'm finally ready to make the commitment.
All right. Well, that sounds really awesome. I'm really glad that we had this opportunity to meet with each other, and I'm glad that you're a part of the ADP family.
Thank you.
Thank you.